we are here with Aisake Vuikadavu, and we are so excited to have you on. I mean, oh my goodness, there's so many good things that you're going to be sharing with us.
I know, I'm excited. So we first saw you actually speak at the, what is it called?
It was a winter homeschool conference.
Yeah.
In Ogden.
Yes, and your class was packed, and it was so packed that people were actually standing in the back. And it was cool, and so we're like, okay, we have to be in this class. And we actually got seats in the front because somebody was like saving seats, and they didn't come, so they're like, come sit here. So we were second row, and it was just amazing. So yeah, I love watching it. It's cool.
Yeah, super fun. Can I just say that? It was a super fun class, and that's actually what got us. We need to know what you do. You know, kind of what is it? So that's when we started looking into what you do, and you're the owner of Energy Mentor.
Yes.
Energy Mentor.
Yes.
So tell us more about it. What is it that you do on Energy Mentor? What does the company do?
The Energy Mentor, do mentoring. And my focus on mentoring is to help people master small and simple things so that they can get to the next level. Because for me, I believe that the prize is the process that you develop, not the goal. So if they want to, I want to be making, $100,000 a year, I let them know, I'm not here to help you make $100,000 a year. I'm here to help you define a process so that whatever goal you put into mind, you get it done. So I'm just focusing on the little things.
It's like work the system. That's kind of that's cool.
I love it. How did you say it? It's the process?
The prize is the process,
Okay, cool.
not the goal. A lot of people think, oh, I've got my goal, I've got my prize. That's nice.
It's that.
But when you've got a process in place, it doesn't matter whatever prize you put in, you're going to get it. And so I focus on that.
So the steps they can take in order to be able to achieve multiple goals, not just one.
Yeah, so more like their steps.
Cool.
Because there'll be people say, hey, do this. I help them figure out, hey, who are you? What are you strong in? Let's take your steps. So many people subscribe to hey, someone else's steps.
Okay.
Let's be real, let's be authentic. Because once you find your own process, oh man, sky's the limit.
That's quite, I like that you point that out, because we actually got people like, what do you do? And we're like, well, let's help figure out what you do. So don't put it in my language, put it in yours. Cool. I like it. Okay, cool. So one of the biggest things that drew me to you, so I'd like you to explain to our audience what a mentor is. And so the definition that I heard at your class basically it inspired me, because at the time I had a mentee that I was having a really hard time with, and trying to help her see that it wasn't my job to do her job and to help her business be successful, and that my job was to help her learn the tools so that she could go connect herself and figure out what she needs to do. And so you kind of gave that as the definition of, as a mentor, it's not my job to do it for you or to give you the tools, it's my job to teach you how to find what you need. And so as a mentor, I guess, tell us where you learned that from, about the tool piece of that, going towards them, and not necessarily, it's not me that has to do it, it's you. So where does that come from? Where did you learn that?
I learned by big mistakes. And then I realized, Aisake, you trying to make this all about you? Get out of the way. This is about their progress, not yours. And so then I realized, okay, as a mentor, my calling is to share with you some options and tools to help you get to where you want to go. And then I'll be there to help you be accountable. But it's up to you. You can move there quickly or slowly. I honor and respect your freedom, your moral agency to do it. I'll be here to share with you the options and tools.
Awesome options. I like that.
I like that. That is good.
I like options. Okay, so what inspired you to get into mentoring?
My grandpa, growing up in Fijian Islands, and he was a high chief in his area. So whenever we'd sit down there, you sit back okay, because remember, it's like the sage, and he was always short to the point. And you realize, I want to be that for people. But along the way, I got distracted because I thought, I can't even do that. You can't afford to do all these things, and you need all the special equipment, and you're growing up in the islands. Seriously, what kind of stage are you going to be on? And there's trees and ocean and the rugby fields, But then, as I got into military school, got done with that, I remember I was just sharing with you before one of his classes. This was back in England. I remember this auditorium. Before I walked in, the prompt became, Aisake, that's where you belong. You need to be up there and inspiring people. Oh no, I can't do that. I'm just from a small island, I can't be doing that. But it stuck with me for 20 years. So every time someone needed help, they would come to me and I share some advice, and they feel happy about it. this is cool. It came to the point where I realized, you know, you either live your life behind the curtain or stand up and own yourself. It's nothing about pride, it's more about gratitude. When you acknowledge, hey, this is what I've been blessed with. If I'm trying to hide it, it means I'm ungrateful and I'm grateful. And so I must humbly acknowledge it and help others.
Cool. I like the word simple. You've used that a few times today already. Simple.
Simple.
And so I like that. No, I'm like, okay, so make everything simple, right? Cool.
I like it.
And gratitude, that's a good one. So what's the easiest way, I guess? So for you, how do you stay grateful and keep that like mindset of have gratitude, not pride?
My early morning routine.
Oh,
Okay.
It keeps me grounded. Getting up in the morning, I read my scriptures, I do my vision board, my declarations, and as I'm working with clients, I let them know I'm not motivated to do it, I'm inspired to do it. I just decided to do it. And that's it. So if I wake up in the morning and I'm sick, this is hard. Just go look at the board. Just open your eyes. Oh, it's there. You're feeling bad. Just pen to paper. The flu, the cough doesn't do anything. Just write it all out. And so too often we rely on, we give inspiration and motivation permission to run our lives. When it's not there, you're like, I'm not motivated to do this, to do that. Because you gave it the key. You gave it the key.
I like how you said that because it's so funny. A lot of people, and I think I get the question a lot, you know, how do you stay motivated to do this? You know, how do you start your vision board and do things like that? And a lot of the times I'm like, I'm really not. Sometimes there's days where I wake up and I'm like, I really don't feel like I want to do it today. But I love how you said it's a choice. You choose to do it and you do it. And that's actually really good. That's something that a big question I get is, how do you stay motivated? And I think it's a choice to just keep doing the little things that you do. So I love that you brought that up, your morning routine and schedule.
I normally share that. I share with pictures when I work with the students. And I give the example of a matchstick. Okay? Imagine you're camping. It's getting cold. So you got some matches, you got some firewood. Now, the people who are always relying on motivation and inspiration to move them along are those who just keep lighting a matchstick. And then try to keep themselves warm. Gotta get fired up. You know? Those who feel like, you know what, I'm just gonna get motivated once for one event, and then I'm gonna put the firewood in. The firewood is the things you do on a daily and weekly basis. You just light your matchstick once, and you keep feeding the firewood. And so people realize, like, you got any matches there? Got any motivation there? Like, no, use one. Run with it. Put your firewood in, put your daily work in. That's what matters.
That's a good analogy.
I like that.
Yeah, last week actually we were on the phone and he's out of town and I was like, you know, I was just not motivated. I was like, you know, it's just not been a good day. And I was like, I'm not going to do my PO schedule. I just wasn't going to do my nightly routine. And we got off the phone and I was laying in bed and I was like, I'm going to go to bed. I'm not doing it because I'm not motivated right now, right? And I actually had to just make the choice. I was like, you know what? I've been doing it for a month now and I don't want to report to my mentor that I did not do it. So I got up, I made the choice and I just went and did it. So that's really funny that you know that because I actually just experienced that a few days ago where I was like, this is new. I normally would have chose the I'm not motivated and I wouldn't have done it. And so like, it's cool.
Because everyone's thinking like, oh, you guys are mentors and speakers. How do you stay motivated? We don't. Simple answer.
Discipline, right? And consistency, right?
I like it. So I like that you brought up a morning routine. How does that help you get ready for like what you do on a day-to-day basis? Like, you know, whether you're going to go out to speak or you're going out to mentor somebody, how important is it to have that morning schedule?
It's critical. The way I look at it is this. Every morning I fill my vault. I gotta fill my vault with information, with insights, with stories. Because when I'm out there, anything can come left, right, and center. If my vault's empty, I have nothing to offer. And so I've got to fill it every morning. I feel it's my calling not only to be helping people, but I'm filling something so I can give to others. It's kind of like, you can't show love to others unless you have love for yourself. And this is another way. It's critical. And I realized everything's coming at me. And as a mentor, you're like, oh, here's a target. Come after all the other stuff. And then, you know, just by virtue of that, I realized, hey, either you do it or it's going to come after you. Your choice. Anyway, I've tried just trying to get by. It doesn't work. No, I realize a morning routine is as important as breathing in and breathing out.
I like it. So one of the things you said, vision boards, declarations, scriptures. Is there anything else that you have in the morning routine? Or is that pretty?
Oh, and I have, I dedicate any book I will reading 10 pages reading that.
Oh, cool.
So something just different and new to learn someone else's insights. So allow me to be more grateful of what others have done. So I love reading books. So I read about 3 books in the past month, and my wife's like, going down now.
Okay. Okay. So for some of our viewers that are watching this right now and they go, wow, I really need to get on my morning routine. How do you decide what goes in the morning routine and kind of, how do you make that morning routine? What
3 basic things. Number 1 is I gotta take out the trash. And when I take out the trash, I gotta empty out all the junk. Because the space is empty, I gotta fill up with good stuff. So empties all the trash, fill up with good stuff, and have a vision for where I'm going. Because otherwise, I'll just be going around in circles. But if I have something in front of me, like, okay, I'm going towards this, I have purpose. So with all the motivational things, it boils down to that. Get rid of trash, fill up with good space, and have a vision for it.
That's 3 easy steps.
Cool. Okay, well, there you go.
Keeping it simple.
Keeping it simple.
Okay, cool. So we noticed that you did Zumba and taught Zumba and boot camp. So doing that, having that experience, has that helped you in your mentoring business at all?
Oh yeah, it's just been fun. I feel like, you know what, I'm just gonna have fun. Because I feel like there's a lot of seriousness. And they say Zumba, like, oh, okay. No, it's fun.
It puts your butt.
And so that playfulness cuts down a lot of gunk that people hold on to. And that's why during the classes, I purposely do that to get people out of there and share, take notes, inspire me. Come on, I'm inspiring you. I like this. Did you have you inspire yourself?
I like it, which is so true. And that's what we loved so much about your class, too, is that you had us all dancing. There was a lot of people in that room. You know how you mentioned just people standing on the set, and you had us all dancing and just having a blast. And then I felt like that totally, everybody who left there was, leaving there with a smile. And before when we came in,
it was like morning, we were all tracking in, it was snowing really bad, so it was like tracking in. It was a really good first class to go to, because we were like, okay, we're empowered now, let's go about our day. So.
Oh yeah, that snowstorm, I forgot about that. We were like sliding all over the road, like, it's gonna be busy.
Yeah, we actually looked for it for like 30 minutes. It was really tough to kind of figure out which building to go to because there was snow everywhere.
So could I add something to that?
Yeah.
For people out there who may be thinking, so what should I mentor? I invite people to start with what they have. Start with who they are. Today I was just on Facebook, I saw a story about this kid from Russia. No fingers, just the stubs on his, goes up to his wrist. While he was playing this beautiful song. Okay? No fingers, just stubs. And so, taking to that, for people who wanted to be doing mentoring, if you've been doing Zumba classes, or you're doing fitness classes, or you're doing cooking classes, start with what you know. You don't need to be more of anything to give you permission to be what you know. Just start with what you know.
I love that experience that they have.
Yeah.
Cool. I love it because it's so true. Because thinking back on when I was first starting, we were first starting, we're like, well, we need to learn more before we can start. We need to go to a higher level training. And we would have done that forever.
Because there's always something bigger and better and more experience.
So we're really good at convincing ourselves, let's get ready to get ready to get ready to get ready. We're getting ready. Yep.
I like that. Let's get ready to get ready to get ready.
That's funny. Okay, cool. So I want to kind of dig into your brain about your mentoring sessions. So your mentoring sessions, what do they look like with you? Like if you could walk through a step-by-step for somebody that hasn't ever mentored with you, I guess, what would a mentoring session with you look like?
First off, there's more introduction, just kind of seeing where they're at and what they want. So I'm just taking notes. Most of the time, I'm just asking questions. And if they ask, you can try to find a solution to something, I just ask them, what do you think? And about most of the time, they have their own answer, but they don't see it. One thing I've noticed is a lot of people dismiss how good they are and how much they know. And it's amazing. And they're realize that's amazing. I always do that. No. Acknowledge that. When they acknowledge it, they realize that leave it at. And so I get like popcorn front row, like, oh my God, show, man! Front row tickets. And they're like, they have the answers all wrong. They need a mentor to just kind of stop them and guide them. Like, hey, did you realize you said this? I didn't see that. You didn't do it just all the time. You just went there.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, I love it. And some of the cool things too is like recording mentoring sessions and then going back and looking at them. You're like, wow, I like did know that, or like, you know, whoa, okay, that's something I got to work on. You know, so it's good because you find the negative and positive, right, and what you can do. It's cool. I like it. Cool. Okay, so this one was a big one that we really wanted to ask. So, people's biggest block, at least when we work with our mentees and kind of things that we see in other people out there, doesn't matter what industry you're in, what other people think is really the biggest stopper. I think a lot of people's goals are worried about how other people feel about you, what they're thinking about you, what they're going to say. So if you had a mentee that had that, how would you help them overcome that?
So they're feeling like, if I do this, what will other people think about me?
Yeah.
I consider them limiting beliefs. And by sharing them, beliefs are emotional illusions.
Emotional illusions.
And most of the time, those limiting beliefs, what actually gives it that power and energy is the emotions behind it. There's so much emotions tied within that. But when they're able to take the emotional away, they see the issue for what it is. And the emotions may have come from parents. It's like, how dare you ask us for money again? You can't do that. And so they've lived this long life, but whenever someone says money, they're like, oh, mommy said no, so I'm going to be a good child, and what other people think about me because mommy said, or daddy said this and this, it wasn't even good enough, and they're in their 40s and they still carry it. I thought remember some people in their 60s, they still carry it. And then when we let them know, hey, your limiting beliefs is actually powered by your emotions. If you're, the way I talk about it is kind of like someone coming at you in full armor, you know, King Arthur time with full armor. Okay, you can either go head on, or I'll say, okay, let's take away the armor and see this little boy on the right side.
Oh, okay.
And they remove the emotions, you can see what it is. And when they do it for themselves, you don't have to work, okay, do this step here, automatically. Wow, it's amazing. Popcorn front row.
Sure. I love that. That's cool.
I love that. So it's like a guy coming at you with armor, and you just remove that armor is what you do.
Too often we're like, oh, bring it on. Fight it. Don't resist it, you know. Just acknowledge that it's there.
Okay. I like that.
Oh, I like it.
Okay. So this is something that you know, we ask a lot, and we still personally ask a lot, and we get asked a lot. Is what's one of the biggest let's see, or not, but some of the best advice you've ever gotten from a mentor, or given somebody as a mentor?
We receive a lot. So which one?
I know and you know, and that's what we do. Like, oh, we've gotten a lot, but you know, there's always that one that we can usually pinpoint that is really good advice. So, what would you say?
Master the small and simple things.
Master the small and simple things. I like it. So, explain this. How has that helped you?
How it's helped me is I look at a big goal, I say like, okay, that looks good. And then I get my head down and just master the little daily things. Too often we're like, oh, inspire me, motivate me, make me feel fired up. You can keep looking out there while we're busy just doing daily things over and over again. Because each movement forward is the next level. And to see the next level, get you there. And as we focus on small and simple things, the big things show up sometimes uninvited.
Oh.
You know, we've had some mentors in the past tell us too, similar thing. Here's your goal. It's good that your goal's there, but if you're not moving towards it, it doesn't matter. So just one small step every day, small step, and simple. I love that.
I like that, because even for me, when I still sometimes have this tendency, I have to tell myself, Omar, hold back, you know, take the little step, because I'd see this big goal, and I used to be like, okay, I need to just get fired up and just run, and I would find myself just being burnt out, and eventually being, oh, maybe that big goal's really not for me. So master the small, simple steps. It's huge.
That consistency.
Because there's the way everything's nowadays, social media, it's like flashy, fun, get there now. Flashy, fun, get there now. It's like, oh, it's a nice route. I'll just blaze my own trail here. But it's boring. Look at you there. Not only that, you can get there sustainably, and then you can teach other people how to get there sustainably. Once you go all flash, like technology, I mean, Facebook just changed the algorithm, or a little while back, maybe last week or something, everything's changing. So people are like, wow, this thing is inspiring. Oh, there's something else over here, something else over here. And they think those small and simple things, like, oh, let this thing shine because it'll be expired by the time I get to the next thing.
I like it, and it's cool because you're actually training yourself to not just hit this goal, but all the other goals that you're going to want.
Because once you have a process in place, you can just aim it to whatever goal you want. It does not.
That's cool.
I like it. It's about the process. It's the process that gets you.
It's also a cool process. Okay, cool. So you do mentoring in the business, but we also need to do presentations because that's kind of how we heard of you. You were at one of your classes that you were teaching. So what kind of inspired you to start teaching classes?
I got invited.
Okay.
Hey, come down there to like, what are my messages? Just find one. All right, here goes. And I'm like, oh man, I don't have a lot of speaking experience. And I'm gonna put some music over there. That's it. You're gonna dance. You're gonna put some good words in there, and that'll be the end of the class.
That's cool.
And then I realized like people would actually respond to me, and then I realized a lot of people don't have that. There's more like you can't be doing the dance. You can't be showing this off or showing yourself, and gotta stay concerned and like in the moment. So to share a quick story, there's one of my friends. He's been married for 17 years.
Okay.
During this whole time, his wife had been trying to get into dance. During one of the events, I invited him to come up and just showing him some moves. He had no idea what it is. Okay, do this, do that, walk like this. Okay, that's it. And then I turned the music on, and he was already standing around. What are you doing? And he danced there for the first time. Afterward, he came back and said, what did you do? How did you convince me? All he did, he said yes. And he just followed the moves, and it turned some music on, and that's it. But all of a sudden, that music just really opens people up.
I like that.
Yeah, I love dancing. Actually, when I look at my vision board, it's one of those that I choose, right, to look at every day. I'm like, I need to choose to listen to the song, and the song's going to help me choose to look at my vision boards. I love dancing. It's fun.
So you said you kind of just got invited and, you kind of just took it. So for people that are just starting out and wanting to get into, presentations, but they're scared, because, a lot of people looking at you and you're just up there. What advice do you have for people who are just wanting to get into speaking
So there's two ways I can go about that. I can tell, here are the techniques, or I can go deeper. I'll go deeper. First, finding out their role as the messenger. That they're here to help serve others. When that happens, all the this just falls away. It doesn't matter anymore. Because most of the time, what do I do? It's almost more about them. But when it's about the audience and the people listening, I'm like, it doesn't matter if I'm just wearing a shirt and shorts, I got a message. It's from the heart. So the heart is people wondering, like, how do I play this? The heart's the battlefield. You open your heart, and you can do it. You try to think over here, and you want to look like this technique, no, stop here.
It's not in the heart.
I like that, yeah, because a lot of people actually, they get up on stage and it's like, how do I look, how do I feel? When you can drop all that, the real message comes through. That's cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I'm guilty of that. When I first started out, I was like, oh, do I look okay? Is something on my face? Is it my hair?
Am I standing right?
And I found that the more I worried about those things, the more I felt like things would go wrong. And the more things. And so I love that. It's about them. It's not about...
And if they can use it as a base and then learn the techniques, much more impactful. Otherwise, they'll get on stage like, okay, you did 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I? If you did 1 and 3, 4, that's okay. Your message is what matters.
The message is what matters.
I like that. Okay, so this is something I wanted to ask you. So you obviously had, classes that are full, right? I mean, people standing up because there's so many people in there. How do you fill a classroom? Is it because you're like there are people that are coming back because you've had fun before? Is there something that you do before your classes? Is it in advertising? What is it that fills your classroom so full? Is it the topic maybe? I don't know.
It is a great question. I didn't do any marketing to see it. I just, personally, I'll share with you what I've done, whether it's Word, just been putting videos out there for people wanting to present, and putting a video about your message, and just really sharing people, share stories. Stories are powerful. You can tell all about, like, okay, I'm going to do this. You can do that, but once you have a story, it touches people's lives. And then, when you're there, give people more than they can do. And learn things that you're not used to and be uncomfortable.
Yeah, you have to get really used to being uncomfortable as a presenter. I mean, as one of the ones that's going to fill a room and be ongoing.
Because I started off, oh man, I remember one time I wanted to teach a class because my wife wanted me to teach a class. I traveled about 7 miles or something to be a class.
To one.
To a class, and then I got up there, all nice and fancy, and 2 people showed up. I was humbling. Then I realized it's not about you, it's about him.
Yeah, that's cool. I think that happens that most presenters, and that's actually I think the key point. If you can get past that point, that's what's going to make you. It's either going to make you or break you, right? Because we have a lot of people that we know that we work with that, like, oh yeah, I want to be a presenter, and they go and they have like nobody show up, or they have like one person show up, and then they're like, it's not for me, I'm not meant to present because that was there, and so that was all about them. But once you can get past that, it's about the message that I'm trying to get out, how it's going to help the other people. Then you go and continue it. It's really all the consistency, the simple steps that you're saying just over and over again. Find your process in presenting as well. I would say not just mentoring, but in that. And once you get that down, people will show up to your message.
And so, I just want to add there.
Yeah.
For that 2 people that showed up, I just gave them everything I had, and a lot of good things came from that. And so, as people are getting ready for those presentations, I hope that and invite them not to feel like, this message is just for, 20 or 50 people. If there's 5 people, this is not for them. Who are we to judge? Who are we to judge? If there's 5 people that showed up, they need to be there. You give them the delivery of 1,000 people.
I like that. Awareness is important.
Yeah, they are important. If you feel like, oh, just 3 people, I'm just a 1,000 person, you never get there. Because behind that one person you see is over 1,000. Prove yourself first. If you can't even teach one person, why should you be given the opportunity to teach 1,000?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
I like that. So that brings me to another question. And this is something that goes through people's minds a lot. Is something embarrassing? What if something embarrassing happens up on stage? How do you get through that? Like what do you do? Because people are always worried about what if I embarrass myself? If something embarrassing happens. Would you like to share a story?
Oh yeah, sure. I just go with it and have fun. Because when you get on stage and try to be all perfect, oh man, you become who can never be like them. You start to intimidate people. But when you're yourself, people's heart walls just drop. Oh, I can relate. Because you're there to relate. Not try to be like, oh, everyone try to become like, no, you're there to relate. I remember sometimes as I'm teaching, I share some stories that I've never shared before, like how I grew up in the islands and scared of water and I failed a swimming test in military school. And I first shared that, I was like, everyone's laughing. Out! Island boy! I'm scared! And then after the class, people were like, oh, I can teach you some swimming lessons. Bless your heart. Thank you. But people say, presenter, oh, he must be from the islands. Oh, he was like swimming like a dolphin. I sing like a coral reef. It's just allows you to really connect with people really well. And so, like, how do you embarrass that? Embrace it. Embrace it. Because that will just be the key to your hearts. Because if you're all perfection, then it's like, okay, it's in other people's minds. As soon as you mess up or embarrass yourself, your heart just will.
Oh, okay. So you use it to kind of become related, just embrace it.
I allow it to happen.
I allow it to happen, okay?
Okay. So, okay, so we talked about your morning routine already. So, do you have a nightly routine that you do as well, or is there just like a morning? Like, do you?
I do a nightly routine too.
Okay, cool. So, can I ask what's on it?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
Nightly routine is nice and short. I have my declarations on. I record them to my iPhone, and I've got my favorite music in there. And so, as soon as I hear it, I'm like, all pumped up, I'm ready to go to bed. Like, pumped up, I'm gonna be ready to go to sleep. Like, no, I'm gonna pump my brain up so that I'm sleeping, it's working, doing its thing. And so, I combine my vision board and my declarations. So as the music's going on with my declaration, I'm looking at the vision board, and I'm just writing down any insights that I need to write. So I use that vision board. When I'm standing in front of a vision board, I have two books in front of me: my junk journal, all the yucky stuff, and my good journal. The reason being is there's going to be some yucky stuff coming in of why you can't do this. Oh, junk journal, here, welcome home, you're going in there. And all the good stuff, like, oh, I should do that. I get prompted on things, small steps to take towards my goal. It's amazing. Next time I thought about that. With my journal, it's like, oh, new things. It's amazing.
So you actually record your declarations. I'm going to go back to reading that. You record your declarations with music playing, and then you listen to the combination of the music and the declarations that you're saying while you're looking at your vision board. That's cool. I like that. So you can hear yourself saying it. It's you.
I hear myself like, I tell myself, oh, because our own voice is what's telling us you can't do this and that. Why not use the same voice to tell us how good we can do things? Same vehicle, just different driver.
I like it. You control what's going in, right?
And it's still following that same process you said before. You take the trash out, you fill it with young stuff, and then you have vision of where you want to go.
So
Same
morning and night.
Morning and night, same process.
Because as long as everyone's breathing, there's negative stuff coming in. You can either say, hey, welcome home, or like, no, here's your junk journal. You belong here, you don't belong in here. And so I give it opportunity to come out. Otherwise, it comes out on people and family, and I've done in the past.
Not good.
Oh, my little girls, actually, quick story. Two little girls, they were 6 and 3. So we were playing a little game of pretend. So I was pretending to be the 6-year-old, pretending to be the 3-year-old. And then the 6-year-old says, guess who's this? Angry. Oh. Then they're like, Aisake, you gotta buckle up and get your stuff sorted. And they realized their first impression, and they were laughing like, oh, who's that? Really, I have no idea what
You're like, no.
So like, journal, hi. It's been a long time. They read everything off. So things are happening. And a lot of people, as I'm teaching about junk journals, they say, I don't have any of those thoughts. And I let them know, you know what? You already know the difference between black and white. It's coming here in different shades of gray. What? Yes. So I tell them, look for the little gray, the different shades of gray. That's where things are coming at. If you just focus on black and white, you stay where you're at.
Little shades of gray.
Because we get a lot of people say, I don't have negative thoughts when they're in there. You gotta find them, you gotta be able to recognize them. So little shades of gray.
So as I told them the colors, so I was teaching, I was talking to a couple just this past week on Tuesday, and the wife says, you know, Aisake, I don't have any negative thoughts. I don't do negative things. And the husband jumps in like, yeah, my wife, she's a hero. She's the most positive person I know of. Just smile. Towards the end of our session, Aisake, sorry, I lied. Now that you're talking about this little gray side, I recognize. Because when we are aware of negative things, they start to lose strength. When we're aware of positive things, they get strength. And that's all the junk journal is. I've had people don't want to write in a junk journal. I don't have anything. Until now, because they're like hiding in your kidney everywhere. No, because you know once they get out on paper, they're done. Yeah, they got acknowledged. So they're like they'll hide.
Okay. So you write in a junk journal every day then? Every day.
Yeah. If I don't have anything there, it's like, Aisake,
look.
Great. Like great. All right. Oh, this thing here. And it's like the smallest thought. That wasn't even a big deal. Trust me. They go inside you and they regroup at a party and it's a big deal.
It's a big deal. I like it. They go inside you, regroup, big deal. Okay, so every day, junk journal.
Yeah, that's actually cool because that's actually one of the things on my camp schedule as well. I just write everything I about. So for me, I write at least 50 things. So I'm feeling more, but I always have to like tell myself, I know I have more in there. I know I have more in there, so that's fine. Kind of think is there like do you just write so you don't feel it anymore? Is there like, do you feel like a page? Like how do you determine how much
I
you
just
write?
write on.
Just go, just keep going.
So if it comes in, it comes in.
Cool, I like it. Awesome. Okay, cool. So, how long has it even been? How long have you, I guess, owned Energy Mentor?
Since 2014.
Okay, cool. So quite a while. So, what has been the biggest struggle that you've had inside of your business? Whether it be, there's so many options to pick from, right? So, what's the biggest struggle that you had, and how did you overcome that?
Firstly, for me, it was the structure of the business. I knew what I wanted to do. Like, okay, passion, or even it's on fire, whatever they want to call it. I got a message. Process. I got to wake up. What do I do now? I've got a message. A process. So it was a business system or process. And many people are going to come in like, I'm going to work with this group of people because I just feel it in my heart. Sounds good. What are you going to do every day? And so that boils down to it is getting a system and process in place. For me, what helped me is, looking for someone who's a business mentor, finding someone like, hey, who has this as a strength, and then you learn. And so letting people know that even as mentors, oh man, you gotta have a mentor.
Oh yes, that was one of the biggest mistakes that we tried to, when we first started back in May last year, we were like, okay, we're going to be this mentor, we're going to do all this great thing, we're just going to take classes and courses because that's going to get us by, it's going to get enough. And we hit this point in about June that we were like, yeah, this isn't working. Like we were like, we need to take our own advice. Like, why, if you're going to want someone to hire you as a mentor, you're going to be willing to go out and hire them. So you're always moving because you're going to be giving advice and helping all these people. You got to be moving so that they can be moving as well.
Yeah.
Not only that, but for me, it was like, it's like you said, people have their own answers, they just don't recognize them. And as my mentor that I have, he was very good at pulling stuff up, and I was just like, wait, I said that? And like, I did. And it's so crucial and so important to have somebody like a mentor look in and kind of point out the things that you're missing. It's the connecting pieces.
And quite often, we think like, oh, I've got this, I don't need a mentor, just those words and easy.
Right, I like that, that's cool. I know, and actually, so going back to the, the routine and the structure, having that every day and not having that process in play. I remember also something that we did a lot. I was like, we would sleep in until whenever. Like, we were like, cool, we're not going to work anymore. Like, we're business owners. But then we didn't act like business owners. We were like so confused. And so it was like, sometimes it was 8, sometimes it was 12, sometimes it was 3. I mean, it was always jumped around. We didn't have that system in place, and having a mentor actually helped us put that in place and figure out that process that makes your business better, right? It makes you better, which in turn makes your business better.
Yeah, so for those things that they want to go into mainstream, it's good you have a message. That's a small part of it. If you don't have the system or the process, you're just good as someone who's close the book and feeling inspired. Like, yes, I'm inspired. Now what?
No.
Okay? But when you have a process in place, number one, it keeps you honest, keeps you grateful, keeps you humble.
Cool.
If not, you'll think like, okay, I got this. And then awesome business card, awesome website. And how are you helping people? People are going to come to my website.
No, they won't.
But we spent like 2 months, the first 2 months of our business we spent on our website. We were like, and then we turned it off and canceled it. People go, do you have a website? And I was like, no. We stopped doing our website because it was distracting. We had to actually get out there and share a message and be vulnerable with people and help them before anybody would be even interested in coming to our website. That was funny.
And so that's something that came up here, and maybe someone that's watching this has this question, and it's about, oh, I need to get out of my comfort zone. And what I share with people in one of my classes, no, don't get out of your comfort zone. Create a new one and go there. Create a new one. You keep creating new comfort zones. Because when your focus is on moving forward to new things, and it's not on going from negative things, you move further faster. Because a lot of people think, I just want to be anywhere but here. That's different from someone just like, I want to go there. Two different things.
Yeah.
Because being anywhere from here could land you in a worse situation.
It could be anywhere. Yeah.
So it's up to hey.
So you're creating that.
Don't focus on trying to get out of your bad situation. Focus on getting in the situation that you want.
I like that. So you're going to get out of your comfort zone. It's because you have a destination of a new comfort zone.
So it's like, hey, just create new comfort zones every day. It's not about breaking out. And so the energy is for so much people like break out. No, create.
Yeah.
Create.
Right. Because when people create it once, we can create it again, and then there comes out
Prize is a process.
Yeah,
Process,
right.
okay. Yeah, because too many times I hear people say, you just got to get out of your comfort zone, and then.
And even we've used that term, but I think it's better pointed at.
Because everyone has an ability to create. When you say create, all of a sudden it wakes something up inside. Wow, you believe me? You actually use the word create with me? Oh my goodness, you trust me that much? Let me see what I can create. All of a sudden they're there. But the default is break out, destroy.
Yeah.
Break out.
Create. I like that. Create. Okay, so let's see. Here's a really big one. So for people wanting to get into mentoring and wanting to, start their journey on mentoring, and what advice do you have for them on starting? Because it's almost like, there's so many different routes we get. We almost get bombarded with things, and when we start looking up all this information, we kind of just turn around and then we don't know what to do. So what advice would you tell somebody trying to start maybe a mentoring business or company? How would you help them get started?
I'll back off to them and say, hey, focus on what their core message is and what their brand is first.
Okay.
Because so many people think, I like that website, I'm going to get that, or that card. Oh man, I want that office. What's your message? Okay. Who are you, Richie? And what do you want people to perceive? How do you want them to see, feel, and hear about you? What makes you different? People say, well, what makes you different? I don't charge a lot. And what I share with my clients is like, when you're trying to answer the question of how you're different, you always remember that people are going to say, who cares? Everyone says that, so what? Who cares? Everyone says that, so what? And so that's got a big deep for them to find out, okay, what exactly am I sharing here? Oh, I just want to help people be financially free. Who cares? Everyone says that, so what? Because people are not going to tell you that, they're thinking that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'll call you when I'm ready. Everyone says that. And so they'll be polite and smile, but as they really nail it down for themselves, they get to the point where they realize, this is it, this is what makes me different. And the hint I share with people is, look at the trials and experience, look at what they've overcome in their life. Start there.
I love that, because too often people, when they start, on Facebook now, it's great, but it also can be really bad. Sinking hole, I guess you could say, because there's so many courses out there right now. Learn this, learn that, how to blog, how to do this. And so if a blogger's like wanting to blog, there's like 20 courses that they can find that are all free courses that they can go take. The problem is they don't finish any of them because they start all of them, and so it just becomes too much. And kind of like as a mentor, when you pick your topic, you're learning about so many things. Like, I could be a mentor in this, and that took us a while to figure out. We're like, we could mentor anyone. These tools can help anyone. And it just wasn't. People were like that. They were like, so what? Who cares? I've heard that before. So it's a pinpoint. Who are you? What do you want to teach? Why? That you.
When their message, their core message, and their brand is clear, they'll know what to say yes to and what to say no to. That is critical. Because when you go in the mentoring space, they just type mentor in Google, search like mentor, like call me, click, 1 o'clock in the morning, like, oh, I got some more information about mentoring.
Yeah.
But when they're clear with their core message and their brand, they know. No. Yes.
Which was inspiring, that's cool.
That's huge. That is huge.
So that will save them a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of heartache, and perhaps relationships.
Oh yeah, really one relationships. Also one that we had to great introduction.
It's funny how we learn a lot of that by experience.
Going and doing it. Nobody else. You can hear somebody say relationships aren't partner relationships. If your relationship foundation isn't good, then this is going to struggle. And it's so funny. You can hear it many times, but you actually really just go out and put it out there and learn it and go through it. It just goes in. It clicks deeper.
And so, something that's coming here to share.
Yeah.
For the spouses out there, for either the wives or the husbands, that feel like they have a calling to be a mentor, they feel inspired to do this. As you turn to your spouses, don't ask them for permission, ask them for support.
Yeah.
So ask for permission, ask for support. You be true to yourselves.
I like that.
So a lot of times we change our goals based on what our spouse is doing, right? And that's one thing that we see a lot. And we used to actually that. And so we actually the other day were sitting down, we're like, hey, in our business, what are our goals? And we write them down, and we realize, wow, they're similar, but there's some very different goals for our company, and it's one. And so we have to sit down and kind of realize, okay, like how are we going to support each other in doing this? It wasn't write down what you think you want to do, and I'll approve it. It's what are your goals so that I know what you're working towards.
Yeah.
And the growth is going to be different.
Oh, yeah.
It's like different flowers. Hey, you're like 6 inches tall. Slow down. Or 3 inches. No, you're looking for the sun. The sun's this way. just let it go. Just embrace where they're going. Yeah, purple petals. I got yellow. It's gotta be purple like me. No, just let it go. The key is that you're growing.
Yeah.
Right?
It doesn't have to be the exact thing you're doing or the same rate. The key is you're growing. And I guess with spouses, too often we focus on what they're not doing. We just focus on what they're doing.
Yeah.
And too often, we may ask spouses for permission, and if they don't grant permission, you're like, but how dare you? No, support, not permission.
Yeah.
You be true to yourself.
I love that because, oh man, did we ever, it's like you're explaining how our life started, or the whole business thing started is like, oh, should we do this? No, I don't feel like we should. And we're like, oh, I really wanted to do
I was
this.
passionate
Okay,
about that.
then maybe we shouldn't do that. Okay, so now what do you want to do? And so we kept asking for permission instead of support. So
Yeah, something that we learned recently from one of our mentors is that you're a team, you work together towards things, yes, but you're two individuals. I think that a lot of times spouses say we have to go in the exact same direction all the time, and we have to agree on everything that we do, and that's not how it is. And actually, one of the things that we used to, a small example outside of mentoring, but just home life, would be, so our living room and our kitchen are two different spaces. I don't like cleaning our living room. It's something that, it's the easiest place in the house to clean, sure, but I don't like doing it. I like my kitchen clean, and he likes cleaning the living room. And so a lot of times we would fight and be like, oh, you're not doing the same amount of stuff that I'm doing because it takes me 20 minutes to clean this, and it's only taking you 5 minutes. And so as your wife, I was always like angry. I was like, it's not fair, And I was like, we're not going at the same pace. Like, you need to do something else. And a lot of times that I happen in our business too, but that's kind of where we realize, whoa, this happens in our personal life. Where in our business do we find this? Because the goal is that our house is clean. That was the goal, and so we both mutually agreed that this is what we want, and I want my kitchen clean, and you're going to support that, and you want the living room clean, that's great, but at the end, instead of being angry at each other, it was like appreciative, like, wow, our house is so great, and wow, we're grateful for our house, and that it can be clean. And so supporting each other is huge in that aspect.
It's huge.
Because
a lot of spouses are thinking about this, like, oh man, I want to feel like I belong. There's some mothers feel like, the kids are here, but I want to feel like I'm contributing. That I'm just not here to be a mother. I want to contribute. And so, ask spouses for support.
Let's go ahead. I like that. So you have 4 CDs here. So do you want to tell us a little bit about them? So this one's your newest one, The Tender Warrior. What is that one?
The Tender Warrior focuses on fathers, and I share my story about my father growing up and the challenges he went through and what I went through. And the interesting thing is, about half an hour before I left the house to go and record the CD, my dad called. Yeah. And it was a tender moment because I just told him, you know what, Dad, I'm just about to record the story. All the hardships we went through. Out of the blue. He's in Fiji. Go figure. It wasn't planned just at that moment. Wow. And for me, the way I saw it is like, you know what? He's giving his father's blessing. Go.
Yeah.
Let the mistakes we made go bless the lives of many other fathers and children. So that's
Cool. I like that. So let's look at another one. So there's Under Construction. Tell us about that one.
yes.
With Under Construction, I give the analogy of, without saying too much, how there's always construction zones happening around, and we're kind of like, wow, and this is like inconveniencing me. I'm late for work, I'm late for my date, I can't even go to the game. But then when it's all done, you forget that there was anything there, but the roads are smoother. In our own lives, we have construction zones in life. And this TV helps people embrace the construction zones in their life.
I like that because that's so true. Yeah, we appreciate the roads that are done. We're so happy that they're done, but when they're under construction, we don't like it, right? And we struggle. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So there is the master key. What is this one about?
This was the very first CD I recorded. It's very, very short. And I thought, like, I'm just going to record it, put it out there. I don't think anyone's going to benefit from it. But I've heard a lot of people say, like, I just listened to this on my drive, and I really love what was in it. Right now, I can't forget what's in there.
Okay, that's okay. So, can I read the back of this?
Sure,
Okay. So, too often we let our thoughts and feelings get in the way of our progress. Our lives seem to move forward only when we're feeling like it or if we think about it. There is also one principle that we tend to undermine many times, but when we fully understand, it can allow us to unlock the so-called mysteries that are holding us back. We're born to create breakthroughs. So it's about the key, I guess. Finding those keys in your life to be able to open. Cool.
I like that.
Awesome. And then this one right here. So the toolbox.
The toolbox, what this is that, too often in life we want this is that, not realizing that the tools are like right at our feet, and we feel ourselves as all this different shiny stuff. But when you look around and realize that, I had that already this whole time. So the toolbox helps people look inwards, look around instead of always looking out for answers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I love that. And something that it kind of reminds me of what you were saying earlier about the process. When you were talking about the process, right? Is that once you've created that process and that system, it kind of actually becomes a tool, right? Then you go and you use it again.
Yep.
So you're always creating new tools inside.
It becomes like the hammer because you can use the hammer for everything. These little kids, what's the first tool? Hammer. What, the level? What? Little kids, you see all the toys, the first tool is always the hammer.
The hammer.
Always the hammer.
That's cool. I like that.
So, where can people go to get these?
They can go to the website, energymentor.com. By the time they see this, it should be up and running. They just have to shift things around, but that's where they can go get that from.
Okay.
Under construction, right? So
Yeah.
I
know.
Right?
I was like, here we go again.
Okay, so it's energymentor.com.
Yeah, energymentor.com.
Energy.
And the purpose I put in there is because I believe everything starts from inside. And if people can start looking in, they realize the answers are already there. Because as mentors, I'm just in there, popcorn front row, and pointing out things, just sharing things that you're seeing. The answers are already within them.
Okay, I like that.
So is there anything that you're working on right now? Like what's coming up? Do you have anything planned?
Yeah, I'm working on a group mentoring, a 3-month group mentoring that I'll soon release on the website. So people can come in and get mentored over a specific period of time. I also still doing my one-on-one mentoring, but the group is something new I'm working on.
Oh, awesome.
Okay. So if people want to either, get a hold of you or, work with you personally or, in this new group mentoring, where would they normally go?
They'll just go to energymentor.com, and beneath the description, of course, they'll have a contact in there because I'm going to interview people and just want to make sure it's a good fit on both sides.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if people are going to invest in it, I want to make sure, hey, this is what's involved and that, we're a match for each other. And if it's not a match, I can point them to other people who may be a match for them. Because all we're doing is, hey, here's some options. You decide which works best for you.
I know.
Yes. Okay, so Energy Mentor. And we'll post that on the links below, on the bottom, so so people can go there and, get a hold of you and see kind of what you're doing.
Cool. Cool. All right, well, it was a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
It was a blast.
I'm
Yes.
excited to work on my process.
The process.
Because
Yes.
I got a morning and I got a night, and I'm like, okay, how can I'm going to work this process. So.
Keep your head down, just take it one step, instead of looking up and kind of just trying to burn out or
Embrace the board.
the board.
Yeah. The vision board.
The vision board.
I love my board. Actually, I have dance parties with it all the time. So I'm one of the,
She
actually,
does.
my vision board actually is the motivating. It's like that motivation. Like a lot of people have struggled looking at it, and for a long time I did, but I figured out some key pieces for me that was going to make it work. And so for me, actually, I'm like, it's like, take a look at your vision board for 5 minutes, and I'm like in there for 20 minutes, and I come out, I'm all sweaty. I'm like, oh, I got my workout in for the day.
Yes, we'll be sitting out here, and then she'll say, I'm going to go look at my vision board. I say, okay. She's like, it'll be about 5 minutes. So I'll look down. It's been like 10 minutes. No, it's been 20 minutes. I'm going to go check on her, make sure she's okay. And I walk in there, and she's like going crazy down. And I'm just like, wow, okay. Just close the door back again and let her finish.
And it's powerful. I taught this to my little two girls, 4 and 7. talking about vision boards and thought it was cool. And then my 4-year-old said, okay, Daddy, I'd like a little gray kitten on my vision board. Okay, so we went on Google Images, like, hey, gray kitten, printed it out, put it on the wall. 3 days later, my wife's taking it for a walk in the park, and out of the blue comes this gray kitten. And of all the kids in the park, it starts to follow my little 4-year-old around. She turns back and says, Mom, look, that's the gray kitten from my vision board. It's like the exact color. And my wife was surprised. She's like, oh my goodness, it's just been 3 days. You just pulled it off. And so she's got really high energy. And with the kids, for our friends listening, not only learn this for themselves, but share with their children.
Yes.
It doesn't matter how young they are. Give them an insight. So now all their language is, I know what I want. Like, how you gonna get that? Put on my vision board. And so now at the office at home, we have like a wall. I call it the creation wall. There's my vision board, my wife's, and my 2 little girls.
Aww.
So I'm kind of employing them. Like, hey, you know all that attraction engine? Look at my vision board.
Look at you.
I'm your dad. Show some of that power. And it's been amazing things at work because kids, they have this pure, I love that, I'm getting it, that's it. There's no, you couldn't cheer the board for it. So she has a turtle on there, but before my wife saw that, she kept telling my wife, oh, 4-year-old, I'm going to get a turtle, I'm going to get a turtle. And my wife's like, no, you're not. Yeah, it's on the vision board, so I'm getting it. So now they're like, you know how to work daddies. Put it on the vision board.
That's cool. That's fun. I love it when it comes to family thing. It's cool. Helps the energy. Our daughter's she's 14 months, and I love decorations around her. It used to scare her when she was a baby, so we'd have to like do it in the room. But now she's old enough that we'll do decorations, and then she'll run around after. And she doesn't know words really, except for like hi and bye, mom, dad. But she and so I'm just waiting for the words that she can choose to come out, so we can record them and she can listen to them nightly in the morning. So it's cool.
With that vision boards, we have 2 options. Either we do our vision boards, or we allow ourselves to be a part of the world's vision board, called the news, people's Facebook walls with all the drama. Yeah. So either we have that, or we create our own. We get to choose.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. So people are like, oh, vision board, I don't really want to start it. Well, do you want this, or do you want the world to create one for you? That's cool.
And the world does a great job at it.
You say everything, right?
And it comes true. Yeah, that's it. So people are like, hey, this is your option, A or B. It's going to share with you popcorn and watch.
Cool. Well,
it was a pleasure having you, Aisake.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Energy mentor. We'll have the link posted below because you need to get a hold of Aisake.
Yes.
He is
fun to work with. He might make you dance. I don't know if you go to his class.
Which is awesome.
He knows his stuff. Yeah. He's had a lot of experience and he works that process, which we all need to get better at. So.
And, oh man, there's a lot of stuff happening here. For those thinking about going into mentoring others, we feel like I got to learn all these things. I invite you to remember, it's not about you. Your clients all have their answers. The key is you keep yourself clear and fill yourself up so that you can serve them and the questions to help direct them through. They already know the answers. You just have to find it.
You just help them find it. Well, you heard it here. I saw you helped them find it. Well, thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned.